Hi, my name is Michael, and today I'll be going over Pseudomonas aeruginosa, which is a very common, highly resistant bacteria that can be found everywhere. It can be found in the water, soil, and it can more than likely be in the hospital setting. If you work in a hospital, maybe you've heard of this superbug. It is very resistant, highly adaptable, and just hard to get rid of. The reason why it's very hard to get rid of this drug is how adaptable it is. It can mutate very quickly, and it's naturally resistant to a lot of the antibiotics. One, because it has a layer of defense called a biofilm, which is like this mucous membrane that it creates to create a layer of defense that makes antibiotics harder to reach this membrane, get inside the actual bacteria to actually destroy it. Two, on top of that, it has an efflux pump. So let's say an antibiotic was actually able to breach past the membrane and break through, it can actually just push out the antibiotic. So on top of it has a layer of defense, and two, it can actually push out the antibiotics that could be used to destroy the membrane. So it has a second layer of defense, and the fact that it's already like resistant and highly adaptable, like if you use too many antibiotics on this drug, it will become resistant to it. So it's very important that we find out what type of bacteria it is first and see what it is actually susceptible to in order to get rid of it as quickly as possible. So the two tests that we can use is blood agar and the McKinley agar. So if it grows colorless on a McKinley agar, it is going to form colonies, and it does not ferment lactose. That's the reason it's colorless. Also, another way to prevent getting infected by this bacteria is by washing your hands, keeping everything as clean as possible. It is possible for it to grow on disinfectant if it's not properly dealt with. Like if the disinfectant is not pure or it's already contaminated, it can still grow on disinfectant. So it can still grow on the things that are meant to destroy it. That's the reason it's so difficult to get rid of this. A couple of the treatments that can be used is cephalene and amicotine, I believe. Those are the two drugs that might be common to use on this bacteria to get rid of it. But the best thing that you can do is just stay not only as healthy as possible, but just keep things clean, wash your hands, and make sure that just to disinfect things as much as possible. And the people that are most at risk are people that have immunity compromised and have a lower resistance or just a weak immune system, because that bacteria is going to go thrive in that element because it's not going to have that much resistance if the body is already immunely compromised. It can create exotoxin A, which destroys proteins, and it has its own enzymes to make the system, just destroy the system as much as possible. It's very sad. It's a very very common bacteria that is very dangerous, and 10 to 15% of the time that someone gets infected inside of the hospital, it is this bacteria, just because it can live in a lot of places, almost anywhere, and it's highly resistant, and it just thrives in the hospital setting. It can reach to pores, like let's say someone has a burn wound, it can easily just go past the skin. It makes it a lot easier. It can reach their lungs. It can go up to the urine canal. It can enter the body in so many different ways. So it's very important to keep things as clean as possible. So it also has a sweet smell to it. That's how people are able to detect it, if they can. And yeah, just the only way to stay away from this is just to keep things as clean as possible. Make sure that you're safe and stay as healthy as you possibly can, so you don't have to stay in the hospital setting, and stay away from that bacteria as much as possible.